So if you are about to start your B.Tech in 2026 and you think you need to spend 1 lakh rupees on a laptop to start your engineering journey, stop. You're already being scammed. And I know this because while researching laptops for engineering students, I saw the same pattern everywhere. Brand and creator makes students believe that a better spec automatically means a better laptop. They throw terms around like cores, GPUs, TGP, RAM and benchmark as if every student needs to do a PhD in laptop before making a simple buying decision. But after going deeper into this, I realized you don't need to remember thousands of technical terms. There are only 3 things you actually need to understand that decide which laptop is the right choice for your engineering journey. But before I talk about these 3 things, you have to understand this one thing. Your branch plays a huge role in deciding what laptop actually makes sense for you. Okay, so CSE and IT students are told that they need the most powerful laptop, but the irony is they need the least powerful one, and here's why. Think about what your first 2 years actually look like. Python, C, Java, basic web development, a code editor, a terminal, a browser. None of this is hardware intensive. What actually slows down isn't the weak processor. It's having VS Code open, Chrome with 15 tabs, a PDF, a Zoom call, a Discord all running at the same time. And that's not a processor problem, that's a RAM problem. And 16GB solves it completely. If you get into AI and machine learning, and I will cover that separately because that deserves its own conversation. One more thing for CSE students, the environment you code in matters. Almost every company on the planet runs its servers on Linux. A Mac gives you that environment natively. On Windows you get there through WSL2, basically a full Linux system running inside the Windows. Now I mentioned AIML separately and there is a good reason for that. Because this branch has a hardware story that's genuinely different from everything else. When AIML students hear GPU, they immediately think they need the most expensive laptop. But that's not always true. Now let me explain the real situation. First 2 years are statistic, linear algebra, Python, Jupyter Notebook, NumPy, Pandas. Honestly, this is lighter than most people expect. 16GB of RAM handles all of this without any issues. But here's where it gets actually different from CSE. By the second year, you start training the model, not just using the ready-made one, but building and training them from scratch. And a GPU makes that fast. Without one, the same training that takes 4 minutes can take 4 hours on just your CPU. And that's not a minor inconvenience, it becomes a headache. Your entire workflow starts freezing every single day. Now, does that mean you must buy a GPU laptop? Not necessarily, because Google Colab gives you free GPU access in a browser. Kaggle gives you free GPU hours every week. Beyond these, most major cloud providers give students free credits, often worth 25,000 to 50,000, specifically for this kind of work, because that's how the professional machine learning engineers actually work every day. So for your daily work, 16GB of RAM, SSD, any modern processor. But if your budget allows and you genuinely want to train models locally, a dedicated NVIDIA GPU with CUDA support earns its place in AIML more than any other branch. Just don't buy it out of fear. Buy only if you have a clear reason. Let's move to a branch where laptop advice gets most confusing. Mechanical engineering. Mechanical students, I know what you have been told. SolidWorks needs a powerful machine, AutoCAD needs a good GPU, you need to spend big. I think this advice is missing one crucial piece of context. The 2 tools that define mechanical coursework, AutoCAD and SolidWorks, AutoCAD for 2D technical drawings, SolidWorks for 3D modeling and simulations, both are graphically intensive, no arguments there. But in your first 2 years, you are mostly running these on CAD lab machines, not on your own. And that's what College Lab is for. Beyond these tools, other simulation software you will touch is lighter, and 16GB handle it comfortably for personal use. If your college has good lab access, IITs, NITs, any decent private colleges, 16GB handles everything outside the CAD lab cleanly. If your college has poor lab infrastructure, old machines, limited access, unreliable scheduling, then yes, your personal machine has to carry more weight. 16GB of RAM and a dedicated GPU practically becomes necessary, not a luxury anymore. Simply put, know your college lab situation before you decide. That one factor changes the answer completely. Now the civil engineering has the similar lab dependency, but most people worry about it for a slightly different reason. Civil students, AutoCAD is not as scary as most people have made it look like. Yes, civil use AutoCAD for structure analysis and Revit for 3D building design, but it comes in later years because the first 2 years of civil are theory heavy. Structural mechanics, surveying, fluid mechanics, engineering drawings. The software load is actually light. Basic AutoCAD for 2D drafting, which is mostly you will do early on. It runs comfortably on any 16GB of machine without any drama, and there is also a shift happening in civil software. More tools are moving online, so you can run them straight from a browser instead of needing a powerful machine. The idea that civil students need the workstation level personal machine is getting less true every year. For civil engineering, 16GB of RAM, SSD, any modern processor is more than enough because lab covers the heavy lifting. Moving to electrical now, and this is a branch where software is less talked about publicly, but the requirements are actually very specific. Electrical engineering has its own software world and people outside the branch has never heard of. And honestly, it's more manageable than the branch reputation suggests. MATLAB and Simulink are the core tools that are used for circuit simulation, signal processing, control systems. MATLAB is a moderately demanding. It benefits from RAM headroom. 16GB keep it smooth, running complex models with less than 16GB of RAM, and you will notice the drag, especially when model gets larger in the third year. Where it gets heavier is the large MATLAB models and complex Simulink diagrams. But IITs and good NITs provide campus-wide MATLAB license and dedicated lab access. So for electrical engineering, 16GB of RAM, SSD, any modern CPU, and you are good to go. Now EC is a sibling branch and it borrows tools both from the computer science and the electrical. So you would think it gets complicated. But the good news is, most of it is lighter than it sounds. Circuit simulation softwares for EC is moderate. 16GB of RAM can handle it cleanly. Programming tools for microcontroller work are extremely lightweight. Now MATLAB appears again for signal processing and communication work. Now in the later year, you will be learning the VLSI design, basically designing the actual chips, and it introduces the softwares like the Cadence and Hypnosis. These are heavy professional chip design tools, but they almost always run on college servers or remote desktop. Nobody runs these locally on a personal laptop. For EC, 16GB of RAM, SSD, any modern CPU, and no GPU is required because it's all handled by the college infrastructure. Now there's one exception. If you are an EC student planning to work on AI/ML, computer vision, robotics with deep learning, 3D simulations, or CAD softwares like the SolidWorks and NCS, then a dedicated GPU is worth buying. These workloads can actually benefit from GPU acceleration. Also avoid the MacBook here because MacBook doesn't support most of the EC softwares. And by the way, I've already made a video on the best laptop for EC students. You can find the link down below in the description box. Now the data science is next, and honestly, out of all branches, this has probably one of the bad reputation when it comes to the hardware choices. Data science coursework is built around Python and the standard data analysis libraries like the NumPy and Pandas, and all of this is lightweight and runs well on any 16GB machine. But here's the thing, the actual professional data science workflow leans heavily on cloud tools like the Google Colab and Kaggle. So most data science students, a 16GB of RAM with an SSD is all you need. And if you're thinking about a MacBook, it's actually a great choice for data science since the workload is CPU and memory focused. Just make sure you get at least 16GB of unified memory. Avoid the 8GB model. And finally, the Aerospace Engineering. This is the branch with the most demanding software in all of engineering, and also the branch where the personal laptop matters way least for the heavier workloads. Aerospace has most demanding software in all of engineering, NCS for structural and thermal simulation, and CATIA for 3D modeling. The heaviest software in engineering lives in this branch. And here's the important part. The simulations used for airflow analysis and structural stress testing are so compute hungry that running them locally on any personal machine is not possible at all, regardless of what machine you buy. A simulation that takes 2 hours on a university server would take 2 days on a personal laptop. These runs on university infrastructure, and that's the whole point of that infrastructure existing. No laptop can run this locally, and that's just the truth. Now for the day-to-day coursework, assignments, lighter simulation work, it works easily on 16GB of RAM and any modern CPU. Okay, so we have covered every major branches, and now we can finally talk about those 3 things I mentioned in the start of the video. The things that can make your laptop buying decision much easier. So the first thing is your workflow, not your branch, but what you actually do on the daily basis. What softwares do you personally open on your machine every day? Because that's the only thing your laptop actually needs to handle. Number 2 is your college infrastructure, and this changes everything. The same branch at an IIT or a private college with poor lab access needs 2 completely different personal machines. If your college lab has SolidWorks, NCS, MATLAB licensed version, then you don't need to run anything locally on your laptop. Understand what your college provides first and then decide what you personally need. And number 3, the RAM, 16GB. RAM is one of the specs that impacts every branch equally. Everything else is just a trade-off that depends on your workflow situation. So workflow, college infrastructure, and 16GB of RAM. So with all of that said, let me leave you with one thing that ties ties the whole video together. The laptop question is not a hardware question, it's a software question. Now I'll be making separate best laptop buying series for each of these branches. Now comment में अपनी अपनी branches लिख दो and I will tell you exactly what you actually need. Now the best buying links of the laptops for each of these laptop categories are mentioned down below in the description box. Using them supports the channel with no extra cost to you. And if you want personalized help with choosing a laptop, planning your B.Tech journey, building a learning roadmap, or just getting clarity on your tech career, you can book a one-on-one session with me using the link down below. And also wait a bit before you go. I also made a video on what laptops do IIT students actually use. If you want to watch that, you can click right here, or you can find the links down below in the description box. So see you in that video.